Ever wondered why some men seem to effortlessly attract women without saying a word? It's not magic. It's not money. It's emotional mastery. In a world where everyone talks too much, the man who knows when to stay silent becomes unforgettable. This isn't about playing games, it's about shifting the dynamic in your favor. In the following scenario, you'll discover how powerful silence can be, and why it often speaks louder than words. Let's be honest, most men do not realize the true power of silence when it comes to dealing with women. The modern man has been programmed to always chase, always check in, double text, and constantly show his care and concern. And while this may appear sweet on the surface, the reality is quite different. Because when you stop communicating with a woman, her behavior reveals everything you were trying to figure out. You no longer have to guess what she feels or decode her mixed signals. All you need is to stay silent and observe. But why is this approach so effective? Because women today are used to constant, free attention. They continuously receive affirmations boosting their worth through likes, comments, private messages, or repeated praise from average men trying to prove their value to her. So when you pull back your energy and disappear, you create a gap only a man who knows his true worth dares to create. That silence you think is just quiet becomes loud in a world full of noise. It forces her to respond in one way or another. Some women panic and begin to chase you. Others may try to manipulate you into returning. And some pretend not to care. But their actions always reveal them. In every case, stopping communication places you in a position of clarity and strength. You're no longer reacting to her moods or seeking constant affirmation. Instead, you leave space for her to reveal her cards without pressure, requests, or repetition. This isn't about playing games or emotional manipulation. It's about sincerely seeking the answers you deserve. Does she really miss you? Respect you? Value you? Or was she just using your attention to boost her ego? The only way to find out without a doubt is to stop communicating completely, to let her feel your absence and the meaning of your presence without words. In this video, I will explain to you in detail what happens when you do that, and I will clarify the signs you should watch for, what her reactions actually mean, and how to act like a man who knows his value and respects competition. Let's begin. She tests your silence. The moment you stop communicating with a woman, a change occurs in her mind, whether she shows it or not. She begins to wonder why and questions what happened. But before she gives you a real reaction, the first thing she does is test you. Most men fail this test without realizing they are being tested. She might post something vague on social media, such as a post about finally being free or focusing on herself, to see if you react. Or she might like an old photo of yours, appear on the list of viewers of your stories, or send a random message just to provoke you to take the initiative to communicate first. And if you do, she has won. She knows that you could not hold firm and you are still chasing her. From that moment, the dynamic shifts in her favor. This test is not always obvious. It may come in the form of silence as well. She waits to see if you will break first. Here most men fail because they think her silence means she has moved on, so they rush back trying to fix something that wasn't broken. But you must understand that women don't test men who don't care about them. Her test is a way to measure your emotional strength. She wants to know whether you are the man who wavers because she is away or if you are steady and strong no matter what. Here your self-control shows. If you stay calm and refuse to respond, you have passed her test without saying a word and shown her that you are not emotionally dependent on her reply. This stability is rare and attractive and makes her doubt the power she thought she had. Women test men in different ways depending on their personalities. Some use emotional tests, some look for attention, others isolate themselves completely. But the key is, if you break down, you have proven that your silence was not strength but a mere trick. If you remain steadfast, she will feel your absence more deeply, which stirs curiosity, uncertainty, and sometimes even jealousy. And here she begins to reconsider because you are now a man who does not beg, does not chase, and does not need constant confirmation. You are not punishing her with silence. You are protecting your energy and letting her reveal her true intentions, whether she increases her respect for you or disappears completely. The result is clarity, and this clarity is priceless for any man who values his time, peace, and emotional freedom. Remember that her first move after your silence is usually a test, so don't fall for it. Let her feel your absence, let her wonder, let her chase. Because if you chase her first, you teach her to run away, but if you stand firm, you teach her respect. And when a woman respects you, everything changes. Secondly, she doubts her control. When you stop communicating with a woman and she realizes that you are not chasing her, not checking on her, and not responding to her actions, you plant a small but strong seed of doubt in her mind. Has she lost control over you? Many women are not used to being ignored. In today's modern world, A woman is overwhelmed with attention. She is used to men orbiting around her, affirming her value and competing for her time. When you suddenly go silent and break this pattern, you break the routine. When the routine breaks, she does not only feel confusion but uncertainty. She begins to question whether she ever truly had control over you from the beginning. Control in relationships is not always about dominance or absolute control. It is mostly about influence. Knowing that if she distances herself, he will come after her. If she cools off, he will try harder. If she disappears, he will feel panic. This unspoken control gives her comfort because it means she can behave as she pleases and still own you. But once you take that comfort away from her by silence, you flip the roles. You become the mysterious one she cannot understand, the keeper of the secret. And here doubt starts to creep in. She may not say it out loud, but internally she questions her place in your life. She might think, why hasn't he contacted me? Did I lose him? Is he talking to another woman? These thoughts destroy her sense of control. If she was playing games or trying to keep you just for attention, she now feels the price of that. Your silence creates tension, and this tension makes her question. When a woman begins to question, she becomes emotionally involved. Curiosity is a form of emotional engagement. The man who does not respond becomes the man she cannot control. And the man she cannot control becomes the man she starts chasing. The mistake many men make is believing silence is weakness or surrender. It is not. True silence, when practiced from a place of self-respect, is one of the strongest actions you can take because it does not beg for closure, does not demand explanation, does not try to fix or force, but simply distances your energy from a person who did not appreciate it. And in this void, the woman begins thinking and reflecting, not because you asked her to, but because she feels an internal change. When a woman doubts her control, she has two options. Either she tries to regain it, often by contacting you, testing you, or trying to pull you back, or she walks away. Each outcome gives you the truth you are looking for. This is the essence of silence, returning emotional responsibility to her and letting her reveal where she really stands. You are not trying to punish her. You are just making clear that you will not be controlled or toyed with. When she realizes she cannot control you like other men, she will see you are different, and difference is what makes her chase you. Thirdly, she replays the past in her mind. When you stop communicating with a woman, something strange happens in her mind. She begins replaying the entire relationship in her head. This is not just nostalgia. It is psychological because silence creates space. And in that space, her mind starts filling in the gaps. She recalls conversations, moments, and emotional connections, especially if she feels things did not close completely. She starts thinking about what she said, how you reacted, and whether she pushed you away more than necessary. It does not matter if she was the one who withdrew or if things ended with mixed signals. Your silence becomes the spark that drives her to review everything. Most women do not reflect deeply when they are surrounded by constant attention. As long as you are still present, even if only through liking her stories or occasional contact, she does not have to face fully the consequences of her actions. But when you go completely silent, the silence becomes real. Memories hit her. Regret gets room to breathe. She might begin to think about how she underestimated you, perhaps thought you would always be there or never leave. But you left, not with noise, drama, or breakdown, but with dignity. And this silence forces her to think. During this thinking, she starts embellishing the good times, remembers how you made her feel, thinks about the better version of herself that appeared alongside you. The deeper she goes, the more she longs for that version of the relationship. Here lies the contradiction. Absence highlights memories. When you were available all the time, your presence became normal and expected. But as soon as you disappear, you become valuable, not because you changed but because she lost access to you. People value what is no longer easily accessible. Here begins the true effect of silence. She may start scrolling through your old messages, looking at your photos, wondering what you are doing now. She may also wonder if you think about her in the same way she thinks about you now. And importantly, the longer you remain silent, the more her mind replays the past again and again. But what many men do not realize is that when a woman replays the past, she does not only remember what you did, she also remembers her mistakes. She may not admit this openly, but guilt starts to accumulate. She begins thinking maybe she should have handled things differently, maybe it was better than she thought. This emotional burden may strongly push her to communicate, apologize, or try to come back. Your role is simple. Let her go through this path alone without interference. Do not rush to fix anything and do not break the silence just because you miss her. If she is truly meant to be in your life, let her take this mental journey herself, because the woman who replays the past in her mind is often the same woman who returns to ask for a new chance. Fourthly, she starts watching you. When a woman feels your absence, the first thing she usually does is start monitoring you. She may not send a message or call, but believe me, she is looking for signs. She wants to know what you are doing, how you handle the silence, and most importantly, if you have moved on. This is one of the clearest signs that your silence has begun to affect her. She starts watching your life again, but this time from afar, lightly, almost invisible if you're not paying attention, but it is happening. She might sneak into your social media accounts like an old post here and there to remind you of her presence. She may watch your stories within seconds of posting them, even if she never did that before. She might use a fake account if her pride prevents her from watching from her main account. Why? Because curiosity is a powerful emotion, especially when mixed with insecurity. Your silence and apparent lack of interest create this emotional mix. She watches to see if you are hurting, if you are chasing other women, or trying to figure out whether your silence is genuine strength or just a tactic. The most important thing for you as a man is not to react. Do not post anything to attract attention. Do not try to seduce her with emotional quotes or indirect messages. Stay calm, balanced, and let her see that you are victorious through your silence. This makes her miss you positively. It tells her that your life does not revolve around her need for confirmation, and that you are not trying to please anyone or prove anything. You simply move forward. And that is what deeply stirs her emotions. The truth is, women want to feel chosen and that they have a special place. But when you stop contacting her and don't give her those lights, she begins to miss you again. Instead of feeling she is in control, she starts to wonder why she is no longer the center of your attention. This shift in dynamics is everything because she now watches, searching for any sign that you still care. And every time she does not find a sign, it bothers her a little more. The paradox is that while she watches you, she also begins comparing you to everyone around her. If you are the man who gave her true connection, strength, and confidence, your silence will be the loudest voice in her life. Every other man trying to get her attention will sound like noise. But you will be the clear signal, the man who stood apart without drama. So remain still. Let her watch. Let her see your peace, your progress, and your discipline. Nothing makes a woman doubt her decisions like a man who moved forward without bitterness or need. When she sees you standing strong alone, she feels attraction. Then watching turns into questioning, and questioning for a woman is the first step toward returning again. Fifth, she contacts you indirectly. When your silence lasts a long time, enough to start affecting her emotionally but her pride still prevents her from admitting it, she usually won't return with a direct message like, "I miss you," or "Can we talk?" Instead, she tests the waters indirectly. This is a strategic behavior that allows her to break the silence without fully showing weakness. If you are not careful, you might misunderstand it and fall back into her frame. She might send you a "hi" at midnight, reply to an old Instagram story that lost relevance days ago, or ask a silly question like, "Do you still have my jacket?" These are not random behaviors but calculated, low-risk steps to see if you will open the door again. If you do, she will realize you were waiting and get her emotional confirmation without having to admit she missed you. Here lies the difference between strong men and others. Strong men do not fall into this trap. They see these behaviors for what they are, tests, not real returns or changes in intent. Passing this test does not mean ignoring her as punishment but refraining from giving the girl a full reward. If she really wants you, she must be honest and speak clearly, not through vague messages or hidden signals. Some women may send you memes or entertaining clips reminding you of them. Others write a long message about something random as if nothing happened between you. All of this is just smoke, her way of saying, "I'm still watching, still interested, but I'm not ready to surrender fully." That is why your response or lack thereof is very important. If she is sincere in her desire, she will raise the level of communication. That hint will become a clear message, a real question, or a direct invitation. But only if you do not respond to the first hint quickly or emotionally. If you do, the tensions built up will break, the chase will end, and she will feel like she regained control and that you returned exactly where she left you waiting. Understand this well. Indirect communication is not the end but the beginning of her awareness that your presence is no longer guaranteed. Here often the spark of attraction returns again. When she realizes you no longer depend on her emotionally, she begins to see you differently, stronger, more attractive, more manly. You do not react but act deliberately. So when the message comes, take a deep breath, observe, and let her reveal her cards. If it is just a test, do not break. If she is trying to reach you honestly and respectfully, only then decide if she deserves the right to return to your space. This is called emotional leadership. This is what distinguishes a real man in today's dating world. Sixth, she becomes emotional. The longer your silence lasts, the more likely a woman will lose her emotional balance, especially if she did not expect you to actually be silent. At first, she may pretend not to be upset and act like everything is fine. But beneath the surface, emotional tension accumulates. Women by nature are emotional beings, and when a man she had easy access to disappears, it does something powerful inside her. Your absence becomes more than just distance. It becomes a wall forcing her to face herself, her behavior, and the role she played in pushing you away. At this stage, she may begin to break down gradually. You will notice strange behaviors. She may start posting emotional quotes or sad songs, or pictures from the days when your relationship was beautiful. She might pretend to be very happy, going out a lot and showing off the attention she gets from other men. But all this is a cover for an internal storm. She wants you to notice her without having to admit it. But the truth is, emotional reactions are direct evidence that your silence reached her on a deep level. If she did not care, she would remain indifferent, not feel the need to fake, provoke, or even act. But when these feelings appear, she no longer has control. This is when her logic collapses and emotions take over. When emotions dominate, women start acting in ways they did not plan. Some explode, others admit their feelings, some may even apologize. All this depends on her personality, but the root is the same. Your silence created unbearable emotional pressure. Now you must be careful. When she is emotional, she might not say what she really means. She might try to provoke you just to feel strong again. She might send angry messages, accuse you of indifference, or attack you for disappearing. Do not be deceived. Her anger is not real hatred. It is frustration, fear, and confusion all piling up. She is not angry because you left, but because she could not bring you back on her terms. Strong men do not respond emotionally. They understand that this explosion is her problem, not theirs. Your role is to remain steady and calm and not reply impulsively. If she cries, shouts, or throws emotional punches, it is because she is hurting. And if she hurts, that means she still cares. Let her feel that. Do not rush to save her. Do not try to comfort her to make her love you again. Let her sit in that emotional discomfort. In that space, clarity is born for both of you. Because the truth is, emotional reactions reveal emotional investment. A woman who invested emotionally can no longer pretend she is in control. Here she becomes honest. Here the games stop. Here she knows your silence was not just heard but deeply felt. Seventh, she takes a bold step forward. There comes a time in your silence when the phase of pretending, testing, indirect messages, and emotional explosions ends. If none of these brought you back and you remained firm in your position, something different happens. At this moment, she takes a bold step. Not every woman reaches this point. But those who truly felt an emotional connection with you and could not get you out of their minds are the ones who do. This step is no longer hidden or just a girl or a game. It is a clear action saying, I miss you, I want to come back, and I am ready to give up my pride for that. She may take this step in different forms. A long message unloading her heart, explaining all she felt but never said before. She may come in person or call you, even if she rarely does that. She may send a message clearly admitting her desire to see you again. Whatever form it takes, there is no more ambiguity. She stops protecting her ego and begins striving for clarity because your silence created something real that is hard to ignore. What pushed her to this point? Your steadfastness, discipline, and refusal to be pulled again into a cycle of manipulation or weak efforts. Most men collapse under the pressure of silence. Most cannot deal with uncertainty. But you stood firm and proved you are not like the others. You showed that you value yourself and are not afraid to distance yourself when respect, effort, and emotional honesty are not given. And for a woman emotionally connected to you, this strength becomes a magnet. She no longer wants to win but wants to choose again. But here many men make a mistake. When a woman takes this bold step, they rush toward her in desperation, saying, I missed you too, or let's fix things now, and forget that silence was not punishment but a filter to know her true intentions. So when she returns strongly, do not lower your standards. Do not accept her back just because she finally appeared. You must evaluate her words and actions and, more importantly, why she is coming back. Is she returning because she now truly sees your value? Or because her other options failed and she returned as a fallback plan? This bold step must come with responsibility. She must admit her mistakes and show growth and change. Otherwise, you enter a cycle of confusion and pain again. As a man, you must protect your inner peace above all else. You have already done the hardest part, held your position, did not chase, and created space. Now use this strength wisely to choose. If she returns with sincere intentions and you decide to give her a chance, let it be on your terms, with clear boundaries, and with respect for your self-worth preserved. Because the man who does not break under the weight of silence is the man a woman does not forget, and who she returns to carrying her pride in her hands. When you stop communicating with a woman, you stop chasing confusion and start uncovering the truth. Her reactions reveal everything, whether she truly cares, took you for granted, or just needed your attention to feel important. Your silence is not weakness but strength. It forces her either to rise or withdraw. And in this space you regain your power, peace, and standards. Never be afraid to walk away when your value is not respected. The right woman will not need you to chase her. She will realize your value in your absence and come back to you clearly, respectfully, and with effort. This is real strength. Do not wait until it's too late. Take the step now and start transforming your emotional life today. I would like to thank you especially for taking the time to watch the video until the end. I hope this video helps you improve every aspect of your relationships with women, and see you on next video.